Hey guys, welcome back to Tracy's Loco-Learners. Today I want to talk about bee balm, this beautiful plant right here. Um, it's also known as monarda and bergamot. Okay, so there's a lot of, oh my goodness, it's starting to rain. Okay, let's do this. There's 17 different, or there's up to 50 different species, but there's 17 around the world that we know of that attract hummingbirds, bees, and bumblebees, along with hummingbird moths and many other beneficial insects for the garden. Um, the two different type is there's the purple one, they consider that the wild bergamot, and the red one that is known as Marnarda didyma. It's the red one. It's known by many, many different names. And like I said, there'll be different species depending on where you live and what it grows like. So this is why we got to do our research. So it is a self-sowing perennial. It is part of the mint family. So as you can see, I hope you can see, it has a square stem. So anything from the mint family is going to have a square stem. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's square. Anyways, it grows from zone 4 to 9. It prefers full sun but can handle partial shade. They can grow to 4 feet tall and probably bigger. They flower from July to September. It's a nice bright flower in your garden for that whole entire time, but there's things you got to know about how to take care of it. So the common problem with this plant is powdery mildew. It can really be a problem in your garden and for most of the mint family actually. So I want you to take a good look at this one. Do you see how it's growing? Hang on, put my book down. See how it's growing these petals? It'll get a second layer right there. It'll start growing another flower. Typically they're one on top of the other. I will show you guys pictures later on the season as they come to life if I don't harvest them all for teas. Okay, so all parts are edible or medicinal, and the leaves and the flowers are edible. They're really tasty. They're like a oregano, kind of thyme with a little bit of a spice. It's a very unique flavor, but very, very nice, especially for cooking and whatnot. The vitamins and minerals and properties in this amazing flower: vitamin A, C, K, calcium, magnesium, and iron. Now, this thing is packed full of properties. It's a very, very high antioxidant, which is great for our systems. It is an antimicrobial, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, and an antiseptic. Now, it's also a nervine. It's good for pain, inflammation, and it's a mild sedative. So it's a really, really good one to have on your pantry shelf for so many different reasons. Now, it's very high in thymol, which is a strong antiseptic. So it reduces pain, inflammation, it boosts the immune system, improves mood, and promotes relaxation, and it's a digestive aid, so it's just wonderful all the way around. Now, it's good for colds and flus, especially the upper respiratory system. It is a diuretic, pardon me, it is an expectorant, so it'll help dry out the mucus in your lung and bring it up. So it's used for gas, diarrhea, nausea, and fevers. It's a really good one for fevers, so it's something that you can literally throw into the bath. And I'll talk about that a little bit. It's good for whooping cough, skin problems like eczema or anything like that, and wound healing because of all of its excellent properties. So during the war, the veterans, they knew about these different plants that were growing around them and how to use them. And I'm going to tell you some of the ways that this plant was used during war times. So it helped them with sore eyes, headaches, muscle spasms, fungal infections. So, and they were using it by chewing on it and applying it topically. I'm sure they probably ate it and had some tea as well. And, like I said, they had that knowledge. That's why I really want people to, learn all about these plants and how amazing they are. Okay, so it's also great for oral health, oral hygiene overall. You can make it as a mouthwash or a gargle, and it relieves toothaches, sore throats, and mouth sores. So it's overall just cleaning for your oral health. Um, Now, this is a plant that can be used as a vapor. So, you know how people have vaporizers and they put the Vicks in there. Now, if you want to go old school, you can put a pot of hot water and throw your herbs into it with a towel, making sure it doesn't scald your face. Like, don't have it too hot. But those vapors, especially in this plant, they're going to clear your sinuses. Um, yeah, so you can put it in your bath, in a foot soak, whatever. It'll help with muscle aches. It's good for joints, inflammation, all that stuff. Now, the edible flowers and leaves are great for decorating cakes and cookies and cupcakes, maybe a splash of color in your summer salad or on top of anything that you're serving. Um, and they also can be made into jams and jellies, like everything. Well, not jams, but jellies. You can make syrups out of it, oil infusions if you like that spicy flavor as a salad dressing. You could infuse some nice avocado oil with some bee balm and, maybe some garlic. Be lovely. Um, Now, one of the things, oh, okay, wait. I gotta back up. Um, so the tea that this is made out of is Oswego. I'm not really familiar with the tea itself on the market, but I do use it as a tea like this. I use the flowers and the leaves, and they make a tea, and it's wonderful. Now, another thing to know about this awesome plant, bee balm, is it is a good companion plant for the garden. Now, this is something that I was doing my research on just right now and learned about. Um, Now, it is a good companion plant for tomatoes, squash, and beans. And, oh, you see the humming? It thinks I'm a flower. You see the hummingbird? It's sitting on the electroculture. Hello. Anyways, okay. It will increase their flavor. So if you plant bee balm in with your tomatoes, your squash, and your beans, it'll increase the flavor in them. So when you harvest them, they're going to be super tasty. Now, when it comes to 90% of the medicinals that I harvest, I do not wash them. And bee balm is one that I will for sure not wash because of its proneness to getting powdery mildew. Um, if any medicinals that you have, whether it's mints or whatever, if they have powdery mildew, you do not want to harvest them and use them. Sometimes you can save the plant by cutting the mints right back and pulling all the powdery mildew leaves off, giving them a spray with something, maybe, I don't know, like vinegar, Epsom salts. I'm not sure. Haven't had to do it yet because I just keep it really pruned. When you're dealing with growing bee balm, you want to make sure there's lots of airflow through the plant. Like, see, this one's in a pot, but I cut the lower branches off so it has a lot of room to breathe and get a lot of airflow to cut down on the powdery mildew. So anyways, when it comes to this, I do not wash them for two reasons. It has medicinal properties that I don't want to wash off, and I don't want to get it any wetter than it already is because it's so important to dry it quickly to avoid getting the powdery mildew. Now, what I do, hang on, do I have more notes? Yes, I do. Is another one, excuse me, that spreads easily, just like mint, okay? So it is good in containers, or you can put it out. Now, it's not really super hard to contain, and you know what? It's so beautiful. Let it go. You can restart them super easy, which means as your plant grows over the years, it's something that you can share with your friends, your family. you can start, take root sure pieces of the root, stick it in dirt, and start them. You can sell them to make yourself some extra money, um, for harvesting and just for resale purposes. You know, have a plant sale once you get to know all these wonderful medicinals and you start growing them. They're awesome. So, what I do when I dehydrate this particular plant, bee balm, is I come in and the first thing I do is I pop the head off of the stalk. Now, yes, the stalks are medicinal, but they take longer to dry. So by doing that, it makes it easier. I don't know if you guys can see that. It makes it easier to separate. Look at, I bet you I can get a hummingbird to come to this flower. You guys want to see? We just have to be quiet. Maybe it won't come. Anyways, so I separate the flower from the leaves at the bottom. See how the leaves turn red? That's because it's going to have that second layer, but I need to get some of this on my shelf. So I want to encourage it to bloom, have more flowers, so this is what I'm doing. And I wanted to show you guys. So then I'm gonna remove the leaves, right? The leaves from the flower head. And that's how I'm going to put it on my dehydrator. And depending on the size of the flower head, sometimes, because it's quite porous, it's almost like the bottom, you know, the bulb of a thistle. It's not prickly at all, but that round kind of bulbous look. I don't know if you guys can see that. That's what it reminds me of. So when these are really, really big, sometimes I break them in half because, again, I don't want any powdery mildew to form on them before they dry. Oh, I dropped a leaf. Anyways, I hope, wait, there's more. Oh, and I always dehydrate them on the lowest setting. So on my machine, it's 100 degrees. And then it's really important. This is one of the plants that's really important to vacuum seal after you put it in the jar. Because again, it can form powdery mildew if there's any moisture in there at all. And you're going to ruin your whole jar. So make sure it's crispy, crispy, crispy dry before you put it in the jar. And then either vacuum seal it in a chamber or use oxygen absorbers. So either way, I really encourage you guys to get out and find this plant. Go to your local greenhouse or ask a neighbor or go to a plant sale or something where people are selling the plants that grow on their property, because they don't know they're medicinal. Most people don't know a lot of different things are medicinal. I didn't at one time know that any of them were medicinal. I grew them all as flowers, but I didn't drink them as tea. So now that I'm learning, I want you guys to learn. I want to thank my local learners for being here. I hope you guys are learning something amazing about bee balm and its benefits to our system. So thank you so much for joining me and have a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.